What's going on, guys? Ultra here with FlytPath.com. Now, also just sent me this right here, which is the Exolander bundle. This is for the Evo 2 platform, so the 8K or this is a 6K, or of course, if you have the thermal camera, it'll work on this body right here. But what it really is a full-on spotlight. It also has this apparatus and a harness for you to hook up things that you can use your drone as like a delivery system. And when hooked up to it, it actually has like this full harness on the bottom that brings your drone up just like that, because the light looks pretty massive when attached to your drone. And I get excited about stuff like this because of the fact that we're doing and using the drone for so many different purposes. And if you guys haven't seen some of my previous videos when I did on the Mavic 2 Enterprise, I did a video on how to use that speaker system on there, as well as the Enterprise has that light at the very top. I did a couple of tests on that. And those, I think, just utilizing your drone in different ways besides just photo and video, having it be used in possibly something like search and rescue, definitely gets me excited to test out things like this. And especially, this isn't really like a third-party product. This is actually from Autel. And this is what they've been using a lot of times for search and rescue, or just in the field for industrial commercial purposes. Now, there's a ton of stuff. Actually, looking at the back, there's a full list of things that is going to be involved in this little bundle. So in this video, this isn't going to be a full-on test. This is just going to be my first unboxing of this bundle. Just want to see what it's all about before I actually get it out there, strap it onto the Evo, and test it out and see what it can do, what it's capable of doing. I think you just lift up this outer, yep. So at the very top, we have a little bag, little Foxfury bag. This is more likely gonna be to carry your light. Full on bag, I like this. I like when everything is already enclosed and encased into a bag. One bag, cord for you to do that delivery system. We've got a light here at the very bottom. All right, here is the bracket, top of it. That's kind of how it holds it all in place. Now, I did do the DJI Mavic 2 Spotlight one. This one right here, from what I'm reading, is about 70 minutes of battery life on this thing, 2,300 lumens of light. Now, as far as the harness goes, we have three pieces here. We have the top harness right here, which I think they're calling the saddle, which goes right on top of the drone. Actually just fits right there, and these little side pieces go right where the arm is, so it does tuck under there nicely. And the second part of the harness is the landing gear, as well as the harness that's going to go together once it's hooked up here. And everything looks identical, so I don't believe there's a front and back little grooves on the side where they're going to go into. So if I just slide one groove in first, and let's do the back one the exact same way. There you go. So installation, pretty straightforward. And then once you hook up the bottoms together, there's a little screw, and that's how you're gonna tighten them together. So there is a screw at the very bottom. Installation, pretty straightforward. There's only three pieces, the saddle and the bottom portion, which is going to be holding all of your gear as well as holding the light. These are your legs for your drone, not these right here, but there it is. The harness is now hooked up, and there is some screw holes on the side. And the nice thing about it is that there is actually a bunch of screw places, like places that you can hook up and mount things just like that. And there you go. So there it is. Get the lighting system. Now, you're not able to adjust the angle of it while in flight. This, of course, right here is you changing that angle before you go up. Nice, bright. That is super bright. That is a bright spotlight. So we'll test this out. I'll test out the angles, see what options we have for it. But just wanted to do a quick install just to show you guys how it looks when you first install it. Of course, let me just take that, turn it off, and then so I actually just spun the whole thing around, and now you can actually point it straight down. There you go. You can actually turn it all the way around. So if you have more of an angle this way, point it straight down. This thing is really bright. I can actually feel the heat coming off of this thing already. But there it is, the D100. This is the Foxfury lighting kit for the Evo. Pretty cool. Look at that. And then you have your light kit on, and then you can also hook up your payload. So there is a space that hooks up this bracket here. You put it through, yep, just like that. And you pull this down, and it kind of locks into place. Oh, there you go. clicks in, as you guys hear that. And what it is a little slot here at the very bottom. This is what's gonna go into this slot right there. What you do is you put this ring in the top, you put the pin in here, just like that. We'll just pretend and use the bag that they sent. Now, when you fly this up in the air, the payload will go along with it, just like this. So the payload will be dangling from it. And then what you do is this will actually dangle about 20 feet down below. All you do is pull the tab, and this whole payload system will now basically drop into place. Like I said, I want to do some tests to see how much force you need to actually give this thing, because it is kind of interesting that you actually pull, because, you know, of course you're worried about pulling the drone down. We'll definitely have to do a few tests on that. But there you go. But it does feel solid. Like I said, it's always different when it comes from the factory. Like, this is an Autel product versus like a third party. So I'm assuming that it did a lot more, you know, just testing in the field, testing with it already before they, you know, sent these out. But of course I want to give it my own little test and put it through some kind of like pseudo real world scenarios. You know, so we'll set everything up and see what we could do, how we would go about using something like this full D100 spotlight setup, the Foxfury lighting setup, as well as this right here, the whole delivery system. It says it can hold about a pound. We'll test that out. We'll see what we can do and what are some realistic scenarios we might be able to use with something like this. And there it is, just the first unboxing, first look at the new Exolander bundle for the Autel Evo 2 platform. Of course, it'll work on all of them, the 8K, 6K, and the thermal, because they all use the same body. But this is a kit that you're gonna wanna look into if you need something like this. A very commercial, industrial, search and rescue style type of light, as well as this thing right here. Definitely want to test this out, this delivery system that you're gonna have to hook up for that stuff to drop off of your drone. Do you want to see how fragile that is when you start pulling it down, and if there's gonna be any issues pulling the drone down with it. So of course, if you guys do want to see more on this setup right here, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. And of course, if you guys got value from this video, don't forget to hit that like button. This is Autel Evo with FlytPath.com. I'll see you guys next video. Take care.